We've got sports. It's coming up next.
Yep, Mike Berman's live at UIC's Curtis Granderson Stadium.
What's going on there, Mike?
Stefan knows what's going on here. He's going to come out and join me for a big celebrity softball game benefiting an awesome local organization that's run by Southside native Curtis Granderson, who had an outstanding career in the big leagues. We're going to talk about all that and much more coming up next in sports. Welcome into live sports on the west side. We're inside of Curtis Granderson Stadium, which is where UIC plays baseball. It's going to be a big charity celebrity softball game here tonight. I'm fortunate to be playing in it. Stefan Holt is going to play as well. It all supports a wonderful foundation started by Granderson, who's a Southside native, in 2016, and the three-time All-Star will join me live next hour to talk about why tonight is so important and exciting. All right, for now, we move on to the Bears, checking in on training camp. After an off day, Matt Eberflus had his guys back on the field at Hallis Hall. You know, from the day he got the job, Eberflus promised the Bears would be in shape and practice hard, and Cole Kmet says he followed through on that promise today.
I'm not kidding. That was probably the hardest practice I've ever been a part of. That's no joke. It was a tough practice. Good for us to get in shape and see how we can execute when we're tired. Tempo, speed, physicality, the whole thing. I mean, that was one of the hardest ones we've had yet.
At Wrigley Field, Wilson Contreras got a standing ovation when he came to the plate in the bottom of the first. Fans very happy he was not traded. And how perfect is this? Eighth inning, Cubs down 1-0. Contreras smashes a two-run homer, and the Northsiders win 2-1 on a storybook day for Willie.
Every at bat, you feel like he's going to do something good, especially the role he's been on since the deadline. Feels like he's had really good at bats with some damage in there, the opposite field homer and St. Louis, and then this one. So big knock, obviously, for us. We needed that.
Unbelievable stuff. That was like Disney stuff there. Coming home when no one expected him to be back home, and he hits a homer. Also got the White Sox playing tonight with the red-hot Dylan Cease on the mound. We'll talk about that coming up next hour. For now, we are live on the west side. Mike Berman, NBC5 Sports. Guys, back to you in the tower.
I want to see you and Stefan have one of those home runs tonight.
I was going to say, I heard you're going to try and get a yard tonight. I hope I'm on your team.
Thanks so much.
I'm going to try. I just hope I don't swing and miss.
There you go. You got it.
Keep your eye on the ball.
All the way to Willis Tower. Nice.
Thanks,
see you later, Mike. Sports is coming up next.
Yep, Mike Berman's live at UIC's Curtis Granderson Stadium for a celebrity softball game. Hey, Mike.
And that's why Stefan Holt is coming out, because it's a celebrity softball game. It's going to be a blast. It's benefiting an awesome cause. And we're going to talk to three-time Big League All-Star Curtis Granderson live coming up in sports. Don't go anywhere. Back live with sports on the west side at Curtis Granderson Stadium. This is where UIC plays baseball, but tonight it's where there's a celebrity softball game, all because you started an amazing foundation in 2016. Tell us about it and tell us why it's so important for you to give back to your hometown.
So thank you very much again for having me. We've created Chicago Baseball Educational Academy here at my alma mater, UIC in Chicago, to give people a great place to play. Over 60 communities throughout the Chicagoland area get a chance to practice, play, and train on this field that we're going to have this 16-inch softball celebrity game on tonight. And hey, Mom and Dad taught me that, you know, somebody helps you along the way. When you're in a position, you get a chance to help someone else.
So tonight, who are you most interested to see get in the box and take some cuts?
Oh, that's a great question. Chris Lofton, because he played in the movie Hardball. He also said he played high school ball. He's been talking trash. And he's on the other team. I'm in the red, he's on the blue. Jim Tomei, obviously Hall of Famer. It's great to be back on the field with him. It's crazy to say that. We were both on the MLB field, and now we get a chance to be on the softball field. And surprise, he didn't know about the 16-inch softball. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles it.
Interesting. Little curveball for him. All right, what about you hitting a clincher? I mean, you hit 344 bombs over your long big league career. Can you go deep here tonight?
No chance. No chance at all. See, all the reason why I hit so many, I had pitchers who threw hard. I took advantage of the wind. See, that 16-inch clincher softball takes all that out of the equation. So I'm just going to try to avoid the defense. Hopefully they don't shift me, and I can be standing successfully on one of these bases.
Let's have some fun tonight.
Always.
Good to see you, Curtis. Thank you. And let's move on and keep talking about baseball. We're going to Wrigley Field for the Cubs facing the Marlins, where after not getting traded, Wilson Contreras got a standing ovation when he came to the plate in the first. And then how about this? He would get the Cubs fans back on their feet in the eighth. Contreras delivering a 2-run homer that wins it 2-1 for the Northsiders. Here's Willie after a very memorable afternoon.
Having these fans day in, day out in this ballpark, playing here, and be able to stay with the Cubs for at least 2 more months, I feel like I'm blessed. And I'm totally am. I've been here my whole life. This is the only team that I know. To be back at Wrigley Field is just special for me.
Storybook day for the Cubs' 30-year-old All-Star. As for the Sox, they're looking to bounce back after losing last night's series opener to the Rangers, and they've got Dylan Cease on the mound, so they got a heck of a chance to do it. Cease was once again AL Pitcher of the Month in July, going 5-1 with a .76 ERA, as well as 40 strikeouts. And finally, after taking yesterday off, the Bears got back on the practice field today in Lake Forest. Justin Fields continues to do everything he can to master the team's new offense. Offensive coordinator Luke Getsy even sees Fields' determination carrying over into the film room.
He's a competitive dude, man. I mean, you get in that film room, and you can see the hunger, you can see the fight. He has that competitive edge that you need to play in this league, and especially at this position. And so we just want to make sure we finish those meetings. There's clarity where he can get progressively better.
Crazy to think the Bears' first preseason game not far away. It is a week from tomorrow against the Chiefs at Soldier Field. Live out here on the west side, Mike Berman, NBC5 Sports. Back to you.
I'm on my way out there, Michael. See you soon.
Yeah, we're trying to get him warmed up here. 16-inch.
The bullpen over there in the studio. Yeah, just, warming up.
I hope we get highlights at 10. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight. Well, I'm so glad to see you and Mike Berman came back from that game. I thought you might still be out there.
We survived.
Yeah.
No injuries. We're glad to report. Matt Eberflus following through on his promise to work his guys hard in practice, plus Dylan Cease continues to roll. And at Wrigley, a storybook afternoon for the guy who wasn't supposed to be there. Stay with us. Sports coming up next. Since late May, Dylan Cease has probably been baseball's best pitcher. His numbers during that stretch are ridiculous, including a total of 4 earned runs in his last 12 starts, and he kept on rolling tonight. Game 2 of a 4-game series at the Rangers, and offensively it was decided by Eloy Jimenez. Look at this rocket to left center in the 4th that gives him 6 on the season and puts the White Sox up 2-1. Eloy's hitting .439 over his last 11 games. From there, Cease and the bullpen hold the Rangers in check. Cease goes 6, gives up 1 run, strikes out 5, and wins his 5th straight start. The Sox take it 2-1. Back here in town, the Cubs facing the Marlins, and Wrigley got loud for Wilson Contreras in the first. Remember, he was supposed to be traded, but Cubs fans let him know they're glad he wasn't. And then he did this in the 8th. 2-run homer drilled to left center. The Cubs were down 1-0, but that gives them a 2-1 lead, and they go on to win by that score on a special day for Contreras.
Having these fans day in, day out in this ballpark, playing here, and be able to stay with the Cubs for at least 2 more months, I feel like I'm blessed. And I'm totally am. I've been here my whole life. This is the only team that I know. To be back at Wrigley Field is just special for me.
Very cool moment right there. 1 week from tomorrow, the Chiefs come to Soldier Field for the Bears preseason opener. And Matt Eberflus has said he wants to get his starters a good amount of work in that game. So that's something to look forward to. Until then, training camp rolling on at Hallis Hall, where Eberflus decided to dial things up a few notches. The Bears coach has consistently said he's not going to take it easy on his team in practice. And Cole Kmet says he definitely didn't today.
I'm not kidding. That was probably the hardest practice I've ever been a part of. That's no joke. It was a tough practice. Good for us to get in shape and see how we can execute when we're tired. Tempo, speed, physicality, the whole thing. I mean, that was one of the hardest moments we've had yet.
Get those track shoes on, and they did. Checking in on the Sky, who hosted the Mystics. When the other team leaves Allie Quigley wide open, they're asking for it. They do a couple times here. She knocked down a couple threes and scored 18. 6 members of the Sky scored in double figures, led by Kalia Copper, who puts it back here late in the first half. She scores 19, and the world champs win by 10.
Finally, Stefan and I were honored to play in a charity softball game that benefited the Chicago Baseball and Educational Academy. Highlight of the night, no doubt about it. Jim Thome, lining one down the right field line, took a big hop over the right fielder's head, and the Hall of Famer kept on running around the bases. You know, Thome had 612 homers in the big league, so they're going to have to change his stats in Cooperstown because now,
Look at
there
that.
he's got 613. My only problem is, Stefan, I can't remember which team won the game.
It was your
by
team.
chance?
I think the charity.
Oh, that's right.
Charity won. That's
All
right.
It was a lot of fun. We had a
Jim
blast.
Thome's first time playing 16-inch softball, too.
He looked pretty good. What do you know?
All right, we'll be right back after this.